Hello, so I have never done a video like this. This is completely different. Gonna be reviewing all of the world records that currently stand, as far as I'm aware or anyone's aware. I'm a completely washed player. I used to be half decent at this game, back before the big discovery of the walk-in PR. But, I used to manage this playlist back when I was playing regularly. And then I stopped updating it, so someone else took the reins. That would be Pablo. But I recently noticed that his playlist is gone. And, I played this game for many years of my life. I don't play it all that often anymore. I mean, I did sub 26 on 4-1 recently, but that was just out of boredom because games at the moment have just been really boring for me. So when I've had spare time, it's just been fun to try and do something new that I never thought I would do in the game, which is, these days I don't have many options, let's be honest. I can't do a walk-in PR. I never will be able to. It's just I'm not built to do that shit. So I can only go off the limited knowledge that I have these days from, older strats that aren't related to walk-in PRs or anything else new that I never did in the past. I can't remember my exact number of world records overall. All I know is I held invasion world records on 9 unique invasions. But I think I had like 25, between 25 and 30, I want to say. I had a random 4-5 world record last year, completely out of the blue. Before that got completely blown out of the water. But yeah, I just thought it'd be something interesting to do. Or I have the day off today. I haven't got anything better to do, so yeah. Thought I would do this. I don't know how much insight I could even give. I just thought I'd mention that I am updating my playlist again. I have been for a little bit, ever since I noticed that the old one was gone, because I still like to come and watch it every now and then just to see how things are going. So yeah, that is basically it. So let's get into it. I'm not going to play the audio on any of these because you probably wouldn't be able to hear me properly. Quick side note, I've already recorded this video, so this is right at the end, but I just wanted to say that this idea has sort of been inspired by NMeade's Mario Kart, specifically Wii reactions, but he's done a few different Mario Kart game reactions now. I've always enjoyed these sort of videos, so I've always wanted to do this for a long time, but I just thought I'd say this was sort of inspired behind his idea for the Mario Kart Wii ones. I would definitely recommend watching those videos. So let's start off with 1-1 by the man Narmaxi, of course. Who else would it be? Zed Ghost, if you're from the era I played in. Yeah, I mean, this has been world record since I was still playing properly, so I mean, I don't know what to say. It's a strong run. I think back then it was only less than 0.1 off the best splits or something. I don't know if that's still true today. I would imagine not. I think I heard rumours of Darth getting potentially the first rim split or something like that. But yeah, I mean, fantastic run. I mean, how else do we even improve this other than, shaving milliseconds off? I was never amazing at 1-1, so I didn't know too much about it. I have a pretty decent PB, BB only. I think I've got a 25-26, and that was with a big mistake in the first rim, where I failed the YBY. So I think I could have sub 25, break boost only. But yeah, no, brilliant run. I don't know what else to say about it. It stood for years. I can see why. I don't know who could potentially take this. I think Hydra probably could. I think Darth probably could. if you gave them enough time. I don't know if they're planning on doing that. I'm very out of the loop these days with invasions. I get most of my info from Zaki or Hydra because we have a little group together. But yeah, I mean, brilliant run. Not much else to say. Let's go on to 1-2 by my boy Unaware. I'll just skip to the run here. So 1-2, an invasion that I hate and have a terrible PB on. Always have. Probably always will. Yeah, really good run here. I think it could go down by another 0.15, 0.20. I don't know how much that flop strat saves that Unaware isn't doing. My guess is this could feasibly go down to a 21.0. But yeah, like I said, I'm not really that tuned in with this invasion. Never have been. The flop strat into the water at the start there, which he doesn't do, and I think you could also do an angled. So really, you could be doing sub 21 without Jape Water, which is crazy to say. Jape Water, if you don't know, is a ground pound right here. I think you get like a pixel where you're not actually swimming for some reason, and it allows you to do a ground pound input. It's very random, very rare. Obviously, pixel perfect, I would imagine. I don't know. I mean, there's people that know a lot more about the in-depths of this game than me. But that was the only way to feasibly get a sub 21 back when I played. To be able to say that you could feasibly do it without that now is insane. It just shows where this game has gone, you know. Because you can also do an angled Waibu up there and skip the ledge jump. I'm fairly sure. So yeah, I mean, with that and also the flop and obviously a very well executed run, you could do it. But yeah, it's just, I don't see it happening. Obviously Darth could take this back. Maybe he has, I don't know. People like to hide world records these days, so I can only say that the videos we have are the world records. You know, this could have been beaten already and is going in a world record compilation because everyone loves to do that for some reason. I never understand why. It seems just like an ego match to me, but whatever. 1-3 Hydra. I mean, this run's crazy. I don't see it being beaten just because people can't seem to replicate the end. And I even see people saying it's an Xbox exclusive end. I don't see how that could possibly be possible. I mean, why would the end on Xbox 1.3 be any different to PS4 1.3? I think it's just a very precise end. Yeah, obviously found by Unaware, of course. Unaware finds a lot of wacky strats like that. Perfected by Hydra, sub 24. He has no reason to improve that. I have no reason to believe that anyone else would even be trying to beat this. I mean, you got players like Bugs, who is a fantastic player, amazingly well-rounded player, but he just doesn't seem to be, in my opinion, doesn't seem to be very motivated by himself. He likes to see what other people are playing, and then he would play this. So, you know, if Hydra were to do a big push, maybe Bugs could get back on this, but yeah, I just don't see it happening. I mean, this is a really good run, really clean first room. I don't know what the best splits are, but yeah, it's going to be hard to beat this run, especially with that ending. I think I did hear that Bugs had achieved that ending, but just not in one try. Like, it took him a few tries of going backwards and forwards, so it should be possible, right? Like, I don't see how that could conceivably be impossible on the PS4 or the Switch. Why would it be different? But that's just my opinion. Fantastic run, yeah. Probably one of the better records. I'm sure Hydra wouldn't say that, but yeah. Okay, Jada, or Enigma, as I knew him as, with 1-4. Again, an invasion that I'm absolutely horrible at. If you look at my PB, I can't even remember what it is. I think it's like a 24 or something. It's horrendous. I hate this invasion with a passion. It might even be my least favourite invasion in the game. It's just not for me, but it's a very popular invasion among most of the top players. Yeah, one of the more active invasions over the years. 2104 is ridiculous. It reminds me of the level that Hydra's Break Boost run was at. I believe that was 2304, right? Before the walk-in PR. Or am I going crazy? I think it was 2304. Something like that. Very close to sub. This gives me those vibes. Obviously sub is possible. What is crazy to me though is the first ever Taz of this was Iasvar's 2099 or was it 2096? I want to say 2099. It was barely sub 21. Obviously the Taz these days is better. I can't remember what the score is off the top of my head, but yeah, it's just crazy how this has gone down so much since the walk-in PR has been found. I'm sure sub 21 will happen at some point. Like I said, I don't know who's playing what the activity is like, these days. So yeah, honestly, this could be anyone. It could be Darth, it could be Bugs, it could be Enigma. Who knows? I mean, all three of those are more capable of getting this back, among others, I'm sure. But I feel like if it was anyone, it'd be one of those three. But yeah, if any of you three are watching or listening, sub 21, that would be cool to see. I don't know how feasible it is, but yeah, that's a very good run. And again, we have Jada with a very iconic run, of course. The first 23 in Quicksand. A nice callback to System's first sub 27 in 4-2. Apologies, I am rubbish at speaking. This is not something that I usually do. This is very strange, but yeah. Let's carry on with it. Nice callback to System's first sub. It's cool to see. Obviously, he grinded a very long time for this run. Many fails. I know it's not the perfect run, like was it his Louis strat that could have been faster? But as far as I know, everything else in the run, pristine, like really good execution. I'm sure he would correct me on that, because like I say, it's just not an invasion that I ever played much, especially with these strats. Obviously, the walk-in PR completely opened this run up. Like, sub 26 was the biggest feat when I was still playing, and that was barely done by, I'm going to get this right, it was System first. No, it was System first. He got a 25.98, I think, and then I think Narmaxi, was it Narmaxi that barely beat it, and then Zaki tied him, or was it System that beat his own run and then Zaki tied him? I can't remember, but yeah, either way, very good run. I think it will get beat in the future. Whether it's Enigma improving his own run or someone else pushing for it, I don't know. I think just because there is still time saved to go for there, surely someone will do it. But from what I hear, the strats are just so hard to do that full snake skip. It's crazy how much time it's saved. Obviously, multiple seconds since what I was talking about with a barely a sub 26, and now we're at a 22. So there is still more time to save. It's just the strats are crazy. It's already like a really good run to go up against, because if you're going to beat this, you're basically going to have everything really good, and you're just moving on perfect territory at that point. So yeah, really good run by Enigma. Obviously, one of the bigger invasion runs done in recent times. Yeah, I should have probably predicted whether I thought any of these runs would get improved. I'm sort of recording this at a random time, 27th of August when I'm recording this. So I'm not sure like how many of these will get improved this year. I don't know what the activity's like, but it seemed to have died down this year. It's not been as crazy, but I mean the world records are already at such crazy lengths, and with the walk-in PR now, improving a run just seems like so much effort. I'm not surprised. So yeah, moving on. 1-6 by Darth, 1398. I cannot even believe this is a score that is done. Back when I was playing, I had a really nice run, a world record here in the past of 1469 back in January of 2021. That run felt really good at the time. I knew I could improve it by about 0.1, but that would be pushing it. We're now at a 1398. Yeah, it's mental. A really good run. When I saw this run, when Darth released it, because he had hoarded this run for a while, of course, you know, get a crazy run like this and it's just hoarded to these top players. I can never understand it. But the strats that they're doing, like the angles, this trumps my old run by a mile, by a fucking country mile. Like, I thought my 1469 back in the day was very good, and for the strats it was a good run, but yeah, this is just much harder strats, executed much better. It's going to be hard to improve this. I know that there's a fairly newish player called Force who's been gunning for this record, and he's got a 14.0x as far as I know, so maybe he will be the one to beat this. I don't know how much time save there is. The last angle looks improvable. Obviously you're going faster, so I don't know how much better you can get the last angle. I don't think you can get it like as perfect as you could back with brake boost speed. Obviously they've got walking PR speed. So yeah, again, crazy run. Not much more I can say about it. It's such a clean number, 1398, just such a clean sub. One that I thought would never be done. But here we are. These guys, you know, remain to impress. 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. An invasion that's caused me a lot of pain over the years. My first ever world record came on 2-1. It's obviously a very special invasion for that reason. But back when I played it, it was definitely horrendous. I think it's become a lot more consistent for most people these days. I still can't do that fast Harvey strat. I don't understand how everyone can do it. If I could do that fast Harvey strat, I would go for world record here. That's the only thing holding me back. I can do that new ending. The new ending's fine. It's just that Harvey strat. I would go for world record, but yeah, I've never understood it. Obviously Martin, I had big battles with Martin over the years on this. Me and him went backwards and forwards, but he always came up on top. He always seemed to find new ways to beat me. Obviously my original runs, they had brake boosts at the end. He found that you don't need a brake boost at the end. You can just spin on the hill and get max speed straight away. So that saved about 0.2. But now they're at 11.34. And I think Martin made a realistic Taz that is 11.33. So there is still time to save there. Obviously there are faster Tazes with crazy strats anyway, but I don't know how feasible they even are. This is tied with Cubson. Upcoming, well, I say upcoming, he's kind of already there, but I think he's got to get 2-3 and 2-2 world record as well. He's the next World 2 GOAT, right? Without tooting my own horn, I was pretty good at World 2 when I played. I held first in World 2 average, I think for like a year, I want to say. It sort of flip-flopped back and forth. But because of my 2-1 score over the years, I kind of had a big advantage over most people in World 2 average. Even when I lost 2-5 to Narmax's new strats, I improved my run to be within 0.1, so I was still in the realm. Yeah, Cubson, he's already got such a better World 2 average in comparison to what I had back in the day. He's got harder runs to go up against. He's a better player, obviously. But yeah, he's the next World 2 prodigy. I want to see him get all 5 world records. I managed to do it, barely. I'm still ashamed that my 2-4 was you know, as scuffed as it was. I wish I got a proper 2-4, and I could have. But yeah, no, I'm going off topic here. Cubson, yeah, obviously really good run. I think this world record was unexpected at the time because I think he jumped like pretty much straight to this. He didn't like frame grind his way down like Martin did. Yeah, really good run. What can I say? I mean, I think the only time they can save is within the glide or on the hill. I can't remember where him and Martin lost their frame. Maybe at Shisui Strat as well. I don't know. But there is still at least one frame that's feasibly possible to save there. Maybe more. I don't know. But it's just at crazy levels, you know. I couldn't have thought my 1143 would have been trumped by nearly 0.1 in not even that much time. So, yeah, fair play to him. 2-2, I think this is held by Bugs, I want to say. 1439, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. This invasion is just completely different to when I played it. 2 walking PRs, it looks very hard to play. It looks very optimised as well. There's just so much going on in such a short amount of time. This start section was a pain in the ass back when I played, but I can't imagine now. They're doing the up kick and they're doing another up kick into a walking PR. It's just, it looks mental. And they're doing the up kicks at the end as well. I forgot about that. So it's just a crazy run. 2-2 is a very hard invasion. I'm sure most people know that, but coming from someone who played it with easier strats, it's the optimization that's really hard on this invasion. You lose time so easily, especially at the start, especially in the bumpers. It's so easy to lose time without even realizing. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle on this. I think if more people just put in the time to learn the optimizations, more people would have a better time here. But yeah, it's a really good run. What can I say? It's mental to see it where it is. Just ridiculous. This invasion to me as well just does not feel nice as Rayman, personally. To me, this is well and truly the epitome of a teensy invasion. It feels so weird to play as Rayman, but the players have adapted. Obviously, you've got to use Rayman because of the RCBA. Right here, you'd be losing time with teensy. I don't know if that's the only difference. That's the one I know of. But yeah, it's a shame to see another teensy invasion go down. I am also now no longer in the top 20 on this invasion, which is mental to say. I was, not only did I hold world record here a few times, 4 times I think, I had second here and even third for a long time. And now I'm not even in the top 20. And I want to say Martin's either 20th place or he's also been knocked out of the top 20, which is even crazier to say. His 1508 former world record is going to go down as one of the most underrated world records, along with Brumble's 210923. I'm sure there's others. Just because of strat changes, you know, people are going to forget how crazy some of those records were. But yeah, fantastic run. I don't know how much can be saved here. It seems like they're already cutting it fine as it is, so yeah, I don't know what else to say. 2039, I think this is by Darth. He improved recently because of the activity that started here recently with Cubson. Very hard invasion. To me, this has always been quite a hard invasion. There's a lot to get right, and there's a lot that can go wrong, especially at the end there. That ending section can make or break your run. But 2039, it's a strong time. I know it can go down by a fair bit still, but it's hard. Like, they're doing multiple frame spins in the middle. They're getting the glide skip on the angled RCBA. Obviously, the angle in itself, it's very hard to do this RCBA quickly and skip the glide, frame spin there, get a good corner clip there at the top, and you got to get that small jump at the end. It's just, yeah, Very clean run. Visually, I can see nothing wrong with it, but I know that there is time to save. Maybe a little bit faster of a clip up top, but other than that, I don't even know where time was lost here. Yeah, strong run. I think it will get improved fairly soon, just because I think Cubson's pushing. I think Darth will probably end up going back to it. Bugs could probably get it. Unaware could get it. Unaware's had some good paces. I think he's had some low 20.7 runs with a glide, so he's more than capable of getting the world record here. Yeah, there's multiple contenders. It's a cool invasion. This used to be my favourite invasion as a casual. I used to love playing this invasion. It's a lot of fun, but it's probably the one that caused me the most issues, and it's the invasion that I got last out of all the World 2 world records. It was hard, and I fumbled the first sub 21 here, as I did on 2-1 with the first sub 12. We don't talk about that. I never got a first sub in my invasion career, and I had 2 very good opportunities. But it is what it is. Moving on to 2-4. Narmaxi. I can't remember what the big strat was. Oh, ground pound under the bumper right there. Yeah, so I remember for a long time Cubson was grinding this, and he finally got the world record after a lot of fails, a lot of close attempts. And Narmaxi just... I can't remember how long it was. It was pretty quick after Cubson got his run. He just pulled out a casual ground pound under the bumper to bring it down by 0.2. I mean, the ground pound under the bumper without a walking PR was hard enough. You restart there 3 or 4 times out of 5 probably. At least for me anyway. Back in the day. I can't imagine doing it with a walking PR. It looks, drawing on frame perfect, maybe a 2-frame window, something ridiculous like that. But yeah, this is a really good run. I mean, how much time can you really save from this? Maybe another 0.1? I don't know. Like, everything's very clean. I'm going to have a look at this glide again. Okay, the glide there could have been a little bit better, but everything else, like the setup for the walking PR itself, like, that was really good. So, yeah, props to Narmaxi, obviously. I think the undeniable GOAT of the game. He's been doing it for so long. He's still doing it to this day, albeit he's slowed down a bit, as expected. But he's still going strong and getting times like this. So, undeniable GOAT of Rayman Legends right there. Moving on, we've got Darth with a very non-playlist friendly video. Thanks for that, Darth. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Let's find the run here. Of course he puts the world record right at the end. Typical Darth. But yeah, 2-5. I mean, an invasion that I played a lot. This is going to be a very, very, very hated opinion that no one else ever is going to agree with, but 42-second cycle was superior. I'm sorry. I had to say it. 42-second cycle. It was the GOAT. I could sit there and I could watch movies or shows on the side while I waited. It was a very relaxed grind. Maybe with these strats it would be more annoying, but yeah. Sadly that got killed by Narmaxi's pause strat. Back when I was still playing. 1464, very good. I know there's RNG on the parachute. The ending section caused me a lot of troubles when I was going for a record on this back in the day. Trying to match Harvey's old end was impossible. Me and Brumbles had faster starts but slower ends. It's all in the hands of the RNG gods at the end there. So yeah, I don't know what's possible. I mean, this has nearly beaten my old 1558 former world record, the last world record I held, by a second. And to me, that 1558 was a really nice run back in the day. You can even go back and see Darth's comment of that run. How times have changed. I mean, this run's crazy. I mean, the angled spin looked a bit high. I don't know if that's on purpose. Like, to me, that's a little bit high, but I don't know if that's because of the cycles that they're on now and how much faster they're going to that point. I don't know if they need a higher angle. Yeah, so that's the only thing I can spot. I think Cubson will probably try and challenge that again at some point. You know, he's trying to go for the World 2 Masterclass, so yeah, we'll see what happens there. But someone needs to beat this run so we can get rid of this 2-minute playlist video with the run right at the very end. Oh, Darth, you're killing me out here. You're killing me. All right, 3-1. This is Hydra. This is a fairly new run. So for the longest time, 3-1 remained one of the only untainted land invasions that didn't have a walking PR. Until your man Hydra went and ruined it. I'm joking, no. It was going to be done at some point. I'm glad that Hydra was the first one to do it. He's very good at this invasion. He always has been. He had the first sub, technically, due to frame rules. But yeah, there's the walking PR in action, and I think the end looks really cool now. It looks, you know, like something a Taz would do. Again, 3-1 is my oldest PB from 2020, a barely sub 24 that I did when I was still trying to get into invasions with terrible execution. I mean, I was never a massive fan of this invasion. I never really understood this section in particular, so I can't speak for like how good this run is. Hydra would be able to do that better, but yeah, I mean, good run. Walking PR looks really hard to do, so cannot fault it. I'm sure this will go down again. I'm sure there's still time to save, but yeah, well done Hydra for being the first to decimate 3-1. Another invasion that Martin can no longer get back now because of the walking PR. So yeah, I'm sure everyone's happy about that run. Moving on. 3-2. Now, may I let you on a little secret? I think everyone knows at this point, let's be honest, but I actually know that this run is not the world record. I cannot tell you what the actual world record score is. I would imagine it's a 0.2 something. I know Hydra has it, but it didn't record. And that is all I will say on the matter. But for now, this is our unofficial official world record of 22:31. Now I'm trying to remember who holds this without looking. It's going to be either Darth or Bugs, I want to say. I'm going to have a look at the spreadsheet real quick, if it's even updated. It is Darth, okay, that makes sense. I think Bugs held it before with like a 38 or something, which I think he did for the KOF tournament. But yeah, again, really good run. Obviously, this new quote-unquote Darth strat there, where he does like a frame spin, I think, on the small dash. Everything else is really clean. Like, it still amazes me how they managed to save time on this invasion. I remember this was my last unique invasion world record that I got. It was my 9th unique invasion world record. And it was probably one of the longest, if not the longest, grind that I did on and off in late 2022. This is a very hard invasion to optimize. Like, once you learn where you're losing time, it becomes fine-tuning, basically, like a lot of things do. The biggest place where people seem to lose time is this dash onto the apple, and this is the one thing I realised back when I was playing it. You need a very nice early dash, as Darth has done here. If you dash too late, you go into the sort of slanted bit of the apple here, and you sort of lose momentum, and it also takes you longer to get on top of the apple. Whereas if you dash up early, you just sort of land on the top of the apple without sort of sliding up, losing your momentum a little bit. So that's where I think a lot of people lose their time, potentially without realising it. Obviously, it's a hard timing to do consistently. But yeah, if anyone's looking into going for a really good timer, that is one of the biggest places that you're going to lose, you know, 0.1, even to 0.2, I would say, without even realising it potentially. There's a lot of small optimizations like that on this invasion. And so yeah, it's just really impressive to see a time like this. I mean, this is strong. That's all I can say. I can't see many flaws with this run. So yeah, just on to Hydra to get an actual official video record, and I think he will. It just depends when he plays it, really, because he doesn't play all that often anymore either, like a lot of the top players these days. But yeah, well done, Darth. Really good run. Moving on. 3-3. Again, this was recently reclaimed by Darth, I'm pretty sure, because Unaware held this for quite a long time. With a new strat. Going straight through the fire here. I think it looks awesome. Something exciting that 3-3 needed, I think. I mean, obviously we did get the start boost with 3-3, which killed it like 4 years ago. Thanks to Unaware. Well, thanks to Brumbles. Brumbles found the strat, Unaware adapted it, and completely destroyed this invasion overnight. But yeah, Darth's had his own little touch on it now with the through the flame strat, through the fire and the flames, whatever you want to call it. If you get that reference, you're amazing. Yeah, that's all I can really point out. Obviously the walking PR up here, I think that was first done by Unaware, I want to say. No, I don't think it was. I think it was done by Darth. I'm forgetting. Yeah, I'm forgetting. Fun little fact, just because I obviously keep in contact with Unaware. He actually found the same strat as Darth did, skipping the flop, after he had already done it, because Darth didn't immediately reveal his run. So Unaware actually guessed what he did to save time. But obviously, yeah, Darth was the first one to do it. 23-43, great run. Obviously improvable. Again, it's just going to be little things. But 3-3 is in a hard state to challenge these days. I mean, that's not an easy run. You've got parachute RNG again, as far as I'm aware. Yeah. I don't know how prominent it is with the walking PR. Back in the day with Break Boost, it was terrible. Probably worse than 2.5 actually. So I imagine it's still there in this as well. But yeah, well done Darth again. He's very good at World 3 along with Unaware. They've both equally had 4 out of 5 world records at once at one point. I'm still waiting to see who the first of them will be to get all 5, because I believe, was it Illusions that had all 5 back in the day? I think it was him or someone like that. Yeah, 3-4 again by Darth. Surprise, surprise. Darth was the first one to implement the crazy new cake strat at the start, where you go like upwards into the wall. Let me skip to the run here. Here we go. I can't explain it, so you'll just have to see. This strat here, yeah. So they do what looks like a girth. I don't know if it actually is a girth or not. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Wash player speaking, of course. Yeah, if I get some strats wrong, then that's what it is. But yeah, that strat is crazy. I think that was first done in the Taz, and Darth adapted it for the real runs. But this is a very hard, like that ending strat there is really hard to do. I remember Unaware struggling with that for a long time. He was doing some wacky strat at the end, getting like many low 21 PBs. And then he pulled through and he clutched up and he matched Darth's strat and he barely got world record, and it held for longer than any of us expected to, until Darth obviously did a secret grind and got all these little improvements that you're seeing now. down to where he is today with the 2033. So yeah, we'll watch it one more time. I remember Brumbles being the GOAT of this invasion back in 2020, and his run held for a long time here as well. It's cool to see how, much has changed. That was 2 seconds faster than Brumbles' old run. Obviously Henry had his first world record here. Pied, I think he had his second world record here, because I think 5.3 was his first, I want to say. But Pied had world record here as well. There was a lot of, like, Devin had his first world record here. Shisui had world record here. There was a lot of different people back in the day that had world record here. So it's been quite a diverse invasion for world record holders. But I have a sneaking suspicion that Daft's probably going to hold on to that for quite a while. I'm not sure if Unaware is trying to get it back. He's pretty inactive these days. It's 3-5. Tied between Unaware and Daft, as far as I'm aware. So Daft is, he's back up to 4 out of 5, I just realised. He just needs to get 3-1. Hopefully he'll go for that one day. I mean, that'd be really cool. I presume it's more feasible with the walking PR now compared to without. Even though it's harder, I presume there's more time to save. But yeah, anyway, we're talking about 3-5 here. So I don't know if Unaware was the first one to use it for a world record. Again, I might be wrong on that. But Unaware actually beat the old Taz with this run. The old Taz was 21.96 and this is 21.94. The Taz has since been updated to a 21.71, I want to say, or a 7X anyway, so this is still very close to the Taz. Which makes me want to say that I can't see this being improved. We'll watch Daft's run as well. I can't see this being improved. I mean, again, I was never that great at this invasion. I had a little stint where I was going to go for a record on this because I was getting record paces back when it was barely a sub 25 and now we're at a sub 22. Yeah, how times have changed. But to me personally, I can't really see anything major. It would just be little things. Maybe you could add a few more frame spins or something like that, there's not much that I can see there to save time, and the Taz score proves that. I think it's going to be hard to save time on that, and I can't see anyone that would willingly want to, really. So I feel like that'll hold for a long time, but this game, it never fails to impress. So, we could wake up and see a 21.88 by you-know-who tomorrow, so we'll see. Right, 4-1 by the man, the myth, the legend, Zaki05. Surprisingly, these days, the first time we're hearing his name in this video. Yeah, it's crazy to say that. I remember the days where he had 10 world records. And he was easily the most dominant. He had first in average as well. Easily the most dominant invasion player at that time. But Zaki will always have this invasion. Now, there are people that could take this from him, potentially, with Bugs and Narmaxi. But I'm going to foolishly say that Zaki's going to hang on to this. And I know he wants to hang on to this, and I know he'll fight for it as well. It wouldn't be right. It definitely wouldn't feel right if Bugs held it, and I don't think it would feel right if Narmaxi held it either. It would just feel weird. But all credit to them for their incredible scores, and good luck if they're still trying to beat this run. I know Zaki himself would say that you could take this down to probably a 0.1 with a perfect run, but feasibly a 0.2. He's failed a lot of crazy 0.2 paces here, and I could see him getting a 0.2 here in the future as like his end goal, unless another strat is found. Because obviously the start, we're not even going to get into that controversy. You know my opinions on the start strat. Obviously, should be allowed, but here we are. I don't have any say in the community. So yeah, we will forever probably not have a sub 25 ever done, just due to that. And that's okay. I'd rather have no sub 25 all, where this is still counted as the world record, but the 24 scores are counted just for the sub 25 all. That doesn't make any sense to me. How can you count one for one goal but not for another? But that's the community for you. So I'm glad that we're not doing that, as far as I'm aware. So this will always be the invasion that holds the community back from subbing 25 all. But yeah, obviously I had my own little stint on this a few months ago. I still want to come back to this and get at least a 0.7, because I know I can get Xbox record here, which I think is a 7.8 by Tenolly. I might be wrong on the score, but I'm pretty sure Tenolly holds it. I've got 0.6 paces according to Zaki, so that's what I'm going to roll with anyway. But yeah, this run's really good. I think probably that ending is where he lost time, just looking at it. He didn't really get like that nice boost off the wall. I'm sure there's other places as well. To be honest, I've seen so many paces that Zaki has sent me over the last few years, really, but especially in the last few months when he was going for this 25-34. They've all sort of merged into one. He just gets crazier paces and crazier paces by the day, so I think he'll get a 0.2 there eventually. So now we have bugs, I'm pretty sure, for this. 4.2 is completely different to what it used to be. As alluded to earlier when I was talking about 1.5, System had a video called I Made History where he got the first sub 27 on this invasion back in the day, way back when, with an all D-pads, really nice executed run back in the day with like nowhere near any of the strats that you're seeing now. Whoops, we've gone too far ahead. Walking PR has decimated this run. I mean, we've got a mid 24, and this is a very strong run by the looks of it. I can't see where he's really losing much time. Let's be honest. I mean, everything is executed so nice here. I think even Bugs would say this run was a little bit of a fluke. It was sort of like a big improvement, if I remember correct at the time. But I might just be chatting BS. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big part of the community anymore. I haven't been in the server for years now. So all my news is sort of third party from other people. But yeah, I mean, just looking at this run, it's ridiculous. The strats that they use, I mean, what, 3 walking PRs? Or 4 walking PRs. And they'd probably do a 5th one up top if it wasn't too fast. I think you die to the flame there. Yeah, you definitely die to the flame there if you try and do a walking PR. That's just ridiculous. I can't see how that run can get improved. I mean, I can't even see who would want to go for that. I think Finn, because Finn had a really nice sub 25 run here as well. I think like a 24.7, 0.8 or 0.7, if I'm remembering correct. He might try and go for that. Who knows? But yeah, that's a very strong run. I'm not surprised if that holds for donkey's years, to be honest. 4.3, again by Bugs. He's sort of taken charge of this invasion in the last few years, really. And this run's ridiculous. I mean, I think he still wants to improve it more, because he didn't upload this run for a while after he got it. And I actually single uploaded this run for the playlist myself because it was such a big improvement on the previous record, and he just was not uploading it for whatever reason. I think he wants to get a 0.1 long term, but a 0.2 is ridiculous on this invasion. I mean, there's so many places where you can lose time. I remember tying the first room split of 1273 break boost only years and years ago, because I had a lot of world record potential here, and it would seem insanely random when I would get a 1273 or a 12.7 split in general. Like, I would average a 12.8, probably a high 12.8, low 12.9 as an average rim. He's got a 1220, was that a 1228? Yeah, a 1228 first rim. it's crazy. It's ridiculous. I don't know what the best splits are. Obviously, Bugs is confident that he can get a 0.1, and he probably will. I don't doubt that he will, because he's Bugs. Like I said, he's one of the best players in the game. I think Bugs just lacks motivation most of the time. A motivated Bugs is a dangerous Bugs. He will do a lot of damage. So yeah, this has always been one of my favourite invasions. It's probably the invasion I'm most sad about not getting record on, when I had all the potential for it back in the day. I mean, my 2313 was from like early 2021 or late 2020, I can't remember. I think early 2021. And I had all the potential, I just couldn't do the second room consistently enough. I was just really bad at it for some reason. But I was tied first room split, and I had one frame off the best last room split as well, so yeah, I'm sad I never got this one. Bugs is, taking us to levels where I just think no one else is going to go for this ever without a massive grind. Like, I would have said Hydra could get this. He probably could if he committed to it, but I think Bugs is just taking it to a level where no one is ever gonna want to go for this. Not even Unaware, not even Hydra. I think Bugs is probably going to hold this for the rest of the days of this game, I would imagine. I mean, maybe that's a bold statement. I've said stuff like that in the past and it's always been wrong, so probably my boldest statement in this video, but I just can't see why anyone would want to go for that run, especially if he gets a 0.1. 4-4 by Miko. Get in the lad, Miko. Beat Ryan. What the whole community wanted to see for so long. Someone did it. Someone stepped up to the plate. Yeah, really good run. I think he's still going for more. I think there's a few people going for 4-4 at the moment. So it'll be cool to see where this ends up, because I can't see much more than like a low 0.2 being done here, surely. I mean, I think the best splits added up to a 17.0 back when Ryan was playing. I don't know if anyone's improved on them. Probably not. Maybe they're barely a sub 17 now, but again, like, that was with just ridiculous Ryan splits that didn't make any sense. So yeah, this is probably the most insane run as a casual to watch, because obviously Infiltration Station sub 40 was always the hardest challenge. I remember being there. I remember struggling to sub 40 on this invasion back in the day. How times change, eh? But yeah, no, incredible run. I know he's going to improve this. 17.2 seems like a really good goal to go for. I can't see much more than that being done. I mean, maybe they'll be crazy enough to push it to a 0.1. But yeah, no, really, really well done to Miko for this run. I mean, everyone, and I mean everyone, wanted to see Ryan get beat on this invasion. So yeah, I'm glad that someone stepped up and did it. Alright, we got Darth on 4-5. The last ever world record that I held, probably will hold. That was only last year that I held that, just over a year ago. This run is now pretty close to a second off my old time, which is crazy. How has that happened in a year? This invasion was like one of the most underdeveloped invasions for the longest time, and then it was Brumbles it was Lonely that had found the angled YBY up in the middle of the run, and that allowed Brumbles to get his first world record. The start of a true legend right there. Not a legendary invasion to start a legendary career on, but that's what happened, and yeah, he was a hell of a player. But Darth, I mean, I never expected Taz strat to get implemented, especially this quickly. I mean, this YBY up is insane. I tried this for like 20 minutes. I hit it with D-pad, but it's not possible to do the first wall jump with D-pad. You've got to use stick. I did not hit it one time in 20 minutes with stick. And Darth's saying he can get it fairly consistent, so I don't understand how these guys are doing it, to be honest. If I could get the Taz strat at like a semi-consistent level, I would potentially go for this. It's hard to say how strong the rest of the run is, because I don't know how much that strat actually saves, but just by looks, it's a fairly strong run. Like, that's a pretty good run. Did he play? He didn't roll here, did he? No, he didn't roll, so he saved time there. This is a good run. Like, this is going to be hard to beat. Definitely possible to beat, but I think that Taz strat just makes attempts really hard here. So yeah, like I said, if I could do the Taz strat, I would probably try and contend this, but I can't. And I haven't really been playing the game anyway, because I've just lost interest for a long time now. I just sort of come and go when I feel like it, but yeah, I don't think I'll ever get that back. 4-6, 24.99. Again, would have never expected to see a sub 25 here back when I was getting world records on this invasion. A lot of new strats, particularly at the end. I remember Brumble sending me this ending strat a long time ago. I think back when I had record with a 25.91, I'm almost certain that he beat my record with a 25.88, but he used this end strat here. I'm almost certain he used that strat, but he didn't record his run because he did it on Switch. So it sort of went undiscovered because he didn't ever reveal the strat. And he showed me the strat, but I never went for it because frankly, I didn't know how to do it. And at the time, it didn't seem as worth it as it is now. It definitely saves a lot of time now. Well, not a lot, but enough time to make it feasible. But yeah, this is it's just a really strong record. I mean, I held 4-6 record uncontested for over a year somehow, with a run that was fairly good, but definitely improvable in execution, as Bug showed when he beat me by 0.1 with a 25.59. We'll watch Bugs' run. This is Bugs' run. Narmax's run was the one before. This is tied. Again, I'm fairly certain that Bugs had a low 25 that he was hoarding, and he just didn't get the sub. And then the day that Narmax uploaded his sub, Bugs got sub straight away. This just epitomizes the type of player that Bugs is to me. Like, he needs that motivation to go for these runs, but when he's got that bit of motivation, he's one of the best players easily. Very dangerous player. So yeah, really good runs from both of them. I mean, just looking at them, I can't really see any. Okay, there's a difference. He didn't do the strat that Narmax did. There's definitely more time to save here. I mean, the Taz was a 0.7, if I remember. I don't know if it's been improved, but I think the Taz could also be improved as well, to be honest. I think these guys could take this down to a 0.8 feasibly, if not more. I mean, back when I was playing, 25.6 was feasible without the boost strat that I had, and without walking PR, obviously, because that wasn't a thing back then. But it was trying to execute everything in a run. I had the fast. I don't know if I still do, but I had the fastest non-boost strat. And when I say boost strat, I mean like the strat I credited Eliras for back in the day. This one right here, this boost right here. I was the first one to use this in a world record, and it says like 0.2 or something like that. I can't remember these days. It's what allowed me to get the 25.69 back in the day anyway. But yeah, without that, a 0.6 could have been done back then. I think when I got my 69, a 0.3 probably could have been done. So I suppose with walking PR and a few of the other little optimizations, this end boost strat as well here, it's no surprise that sub was really done in the end. But yeah, it's still crazy to see a score like that to me. I mean, I never would have expected it, and I'm sure Zetu Hater, if that's how you say his name, the old 4-6 GOAT, definitely never would have expected to see a time like that. The guy who got the first 26-second time on 4-6, yeah, crazy. Moving on to 5-1. I don't know what Finn's doing with that title. It's better than his last title somehow, but it's still terrible. Yeah, I mean, 5-1. I mean, what can I say about this invasion? It's very fast. I don't know anything about this invasion, to be honest. I had a little stint where I was going for a record on it, back when Brumble still held it. But 1958 is very different from 21.7, back when I was going for that, you know. Walking PRs have saved 2 seconds here overall. And I know from speaking to Unaware that a mid 0.5, or sorry, a mid 19 is a ridiculous time. So again, who's really going to try for this? I mean, Unaware could do it, Narmaxi could do it, Bugs could probably do it, but a 0.5 just seems so strong. I just, yeah, I don't see anyone going for that really. Really good run by Finn. Who's surprised? I'm sure no one is. Okay, 5-2. Koff world record GG. Again, Koff claiming a lot of world records. This is by Darth. There's been quite a battle for world record here. I mean, Zaki held it for a long time. He was the first one to take it from Fnatic back in the day. And him and Brumbles had a few back and forths on this. Brumbles held it for quite a while actually, and then Zaki got it back. And I cannot remember who got the first sub 23 here. I want to say Zaki did pull through and get the first sub 23. I think it was Zaki, but obviously Darth has sort of taken the reins here for a while. Zaki could definitely get it back. And I think Bugs could probably get it as well. I think Bugs has a sub, or at least very close to it, if not, but I think he has a sub. So there's 3, you know, either sub times or very close to it here. Like, anyone could get the record here. So I'm sure someone will, like one of the others will take this from Darth, because I don't know if he's planning to play this again or not. It's a really good run. I had a bit of playtime here for sub 24. So I have a vague idea of what's going on. I mean, as far as I can see, the only time save you really save is from the exit here to the end. Like, the rest of the invasion, you're going to be on world record pace, give or take, if you're doing all the strats correctly, because it's so linear. There's nowhere to really save time. The only place you're going to lose time is if you're not doing your dashes as fast as possible. Like, other than that, you're always going to be on record pace on this invasion up till the end, really. Unless you have a bad boost there or like a bad angle or something. But yeah, like I said, everything being the same, the only time to save is in this last 5 seconds or so, which is ridiculous. So yeah, that's really where those 3 guys are battling, and that's probably why the scores are so close. So yeah, really good run. Do I see it being improved? Yeah. I don't know who it will be. Maybe Zaki will go back to it, but again, Zaki's sort of lost interest in the game, as a lot of us have over the years. So yeah, we'll see. 5-3 2069. This has got to be by Bugs as well, because Bugs has done a lot of work on this invasion. I should probably double check just to make sure I'm not. Yeah, it is Bugs. Okay. I would have been shocked if it wasn't Bugs, but I just wanted to make sure. If I have got one of the record holders wrong, then I apologise, but I think I've been alright so far. But yeah, really strong run. I remember when Unaware was grinding for his run, he fluked out a 20.7. So he could definitely contend for record here, as could Hydra. They could both definitely go for a record here. But Bugs has put a lot of work in on this invasion over the years. I mean, he's held it for a long time, as far as I can remember, anyway. Obviously, Pied sort of pushed this invasion by like a big amount. I remember back in the day, because he, I don't know if he found it or not, but he was the first to use this angled YBY up strat that hits the lever automatically there at the top. I would imagine he found it because he was the first one to use it in a world record, and he improved the record by, I want to say like 0.7 or something at the time. Like it was a large amount. Cause I think potentially Bugs had held it before that as well. I could be wrong on that though. I know System and Martin and Narmaxi, Brumble was like all of them held it at some point. I know Zaki held it afterwards. I'd be surprised if Hydra hasn't held it here as well. I'd imagine he's held it at some point. Let's have a look. Yeah, Hydra had a 2074 before Bugs got this run. Which is surprisingly his only record on this. And Bugs did hold record before Pied improved it. Okay, so yeah, I was right on my history there. It was 5 years ago now, so just have to double check. It has been a long time, and obviously I've not been following the game as much. So yeah, really good run. I mean, I can only go off what Unaware told me, and he told me that like this time's crazy. There's not much time to save. I know Hydra's hit some fast paces here as well, so maybe at the most I could see this going down 0.1, unless there's some unused strategies that could be used that I haven't seen. Yeah, that's all I know. So very strong run in my eyes. 5-4 Narmaxi. He's been holding this for a long time. Really strong run. I mean, between getting like the girth with the angle and just keeping your speed and everything, like this is a very strong run. And I think the Taz is only barely a sub 23 from what I remember, so there's really barely any time to save, kind of like 3-5. I can't even remember if the Taz does any crazy strats that RTA doesn't. I'd have to go back and rewatch, but yeah, I mean, you're basically at give or take max speed for most of this invasion. There's not really like any places where you can get faster, really. Like walking, like he does a walking PR on that snake. I'm guessing that's a little bit faster, but the snakes already get you up to like so much speed anyway that even in the past, the speed that you have on this invasion is from the snakes. I remember Brumbles was able to match execution on this invasion with Narmaxi here, but it was this glide strat right here that would always throw him off. Apparently it's really hard to keep your speed with that glide. Now I know, of course, I know nothing about that, so I don't know how hard it is. All I know is this invasion as a whole, especially that girth strat there, is ridiculously hard to get a time like this anyway. I mean, a lot of people have got fairly good times on this invasion, but again, I can't see anyone beating this time. I really can't, unless Narmaxi goes back himself. Obviously the players are capable of doing it. It's just such a hard task to go up against, and Narmaxi's previous record of 23-21 held for 802 days, which is a long time for Rayman world records. Like, there's not a lot of records that reach even 1,000 days in this game, you know, unlike other communities and stuff. So yeah, it's a strong record. I mean, I really can't see it being improved anytime soon at all. It's already over a year old at this point, so yeah, we'll see, but I don't think it'll get improved. 5-5 the Man Hydra. What a run this is, and what a run Hydra begs this to be. I mean, To me, I can't see any flaws in this run, but I know Hydra's had some crazy paces here for like, I want to say like 22.7 even. He'll obviously be able to correct me on that if he's watching and listening. But 23.06, I mean, that's just ridiculous, really. I remember when Brumble's sub 24 here, and that was a crazy run. And now we're looking at sub 23. And I think that is Hydra's like end goal in this game, is to get that sub 23, and everyone wants him to get in. Everyone's pushing him to get a sub 23. Yeah. No one's even really close to him. I think Elijah actually has a really good time here, and I think Darth tied for second worldwide as well. So both of those have a good time, but they're still, I want to say, like 0.3 away from Hydra off the top of my head. I could be chatting BS again, but I think they're about 0.3 away. So it just shows how strong this run already is, and yet Hydra's claiming to, you know, be able to decimate this by even more. So we will definitely see a sub 23 here one day. I think Hydra plays this on and off every now and then. Obviously, I wish him the best of luck. I really want to see him pull through and get the sub 23 here. I think that would be such a monumental run. I think it would feel like what Brumble's sub 24 run felt, but I think it would be like a more recognised community-wide thing. Because again, Brumble's is sub 24, quite an underrated record. Like really underrated. I don't know why it shouldn't have been underrated, but that's just the way some of these records go sometimes. But yeah, I think once Hydra gets his sub 23, that will be one of the strongest records in the game. You could even argue for it to be the strongest. I mean, I'm probably in no place to speak about what the strongest record is in the game these days. I used to have way more of an idea back in the day when I kept up with things more, but yeah, for now, that's where it's going to stand, I think. Probably for the rest of the year, because Hydra's just not been that active, but maybe this will be the motivation he needs. I really hope he pulls through. It would be awesome to see him get the sub 23 before the year's up, but yeah, we'll see. It will definitely happen here one day, and I hope Hydra is the man to do it with all the work he's put in, whittling this down to where it is now. So yeah, crazy run, Hydra, well done. And 5-6, the man, the myth, the legend, Zaki. Yep, that's right. Martin is no longer permanent 5-6 world record holder. Well, he hasn't been since July of 2024. No. Sorry, I'm wrong on that. No, it is July 2024, because Zaki tied Martin's previous record. Sorry, losing my bearings. So yeah, Zaki initially tied world record here for the first time in December of 2023. Much later than he should have initially tied it, because I think he got really close. Presumably in mid-2022, because that was when Martin started improving. And Martin said he wouldn't improve unless someone beat him, but then he went on a massive spree of just improving from 22.96 down to 22.46. So Zaki shook him by a 0.5 margin. But yeah, Zaki eventually pulls through at the end of 2023, and then he untied and became the ultimate 5-6 holder in mid-2024, according to the spreadsheet. With the 22.41, which doesn't seem right, because he's uploaded, I don't know if the 22.41 on the sheet is the same. No, okay, it's different. Okay, so he's put a 22.41 in this video. I probably should have known by the fact it said your score there. I'm guessing he tied it on the same day that he got the record. I can't remember. But yeah, 22.38, this is the record, this run right here. This was done in May of this year. I know that Zaki said this could still go down. I'm not sure how much by. it's mainly the ending section where like time is being saved over most people in this invasion. Like that's where I lost a lot of my time on my run as well. But I also lose a lot of time just in the WMB spam in this first corridor. And I know Martin spoke about how fast Zaki's like triple WMB there is as well, and like how hard it is to replicate. I think that's the main reason Martin hasn't come back to try and contest this, even though I think he probably could beat this time still. But I think eventually Zaki will probably end up improving his own time, as he usually does. It's hard to see anyone else taking this really. Let's go for the record run. Yeah, it's hard to see anyone else taking this. Obviously Martin could take this run, but I think Zaki would just improve it to a time that it would be hard for Martin to beat. So I think eventually Zaki will probably be the one to beat his own run here. What he gets, I don't know. I think he'd probably really love a 0.2 here. I think maybe a 0.1 could be done with a crazy run. Could be wrong. Shouldn't be speaking about things I don't know about. But yeah, that is basically where the world records stand today. As long as there's no hoarded world records, which honestly there's probably a good chance there is, because it's the Rayman Legends community. Things never change. So let's hope not. Hopefully Darth isn't working on some secret compilation or bugs, or one of those guys that usually do it anyway. It would just be nice to keep track of the records as they go. But hey, what can you do? I'm just a spectator. I'm just an NPC watching these runs. I can never perform any of these runs. So yeah, will I ever get another record in the game? Probably not, let's be honest. Unless I can miraculously work out how to do the fast Harvey strat on 2-1, I don't think there's any other invasions where I really stand a chance. Or if I could replicate the Taz strat on 4-5, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. So yeah, that is all the records where they stand today. From the perspective of a completely washed player, obviously I couldn't give the most insight possible. Probably would have been better if someone else had done this video. I was trying to get Martin and potentially Hydra on to do like a triple commentary on this. I think that would have been really cool, and they could have given more insight to the more, especially Hydra, to the more modern strats and stuff. And Martin could have given more insight into some of the history and some of the more like intricate frame grindy strats and stuff like that, because Martin's always been really good at execution in the game. So yeah, it would have been cool to get those on. I did ask Martin earlier in the year, but time zones makes it hard, so it never happened. But hopefully this was interesting anyway, either way. Maybe I'll do stuff similar to this. I just thought it'd be something interesting to do. I was bored. I wanted to do this for a long time. I wanted to do this years ago, and in fact I did do a sort of test commentary years ago. I want to say at the start of 2022, unlisted on my channel. I might actually link that video down below if anyone's interested, because it would be cool to see where the world records were back then, because I think that was pre-WPR. So yeah, it would definitely be interesting to see. So yeah, I'll leave that down below. I'll leave a link to this playlist. I am trying to actively update it. I might not see world records straight away, because I can only see them when I'm notified about them. So if you want to send me world records on Discord as they happen, so I can update the playlist, I'll be happy to do that. But yeah, when I see a run, I will update the playlist. I have been for a while, so that should be like the new go-to playlist really. It's got 116,000 views currently, so a lot of promo, a lot of views come from this playlist. So yeah, thanks for watching, I suppose, and I don't know if I'll do anything like this again, but we'll see.